When did your father instantly become a legend? I was 16, homesick with the flu, when I heard our back door slam open. My phone was upstairs and I was barely conscious on the living room couch. Two guys in hoodies were going through our entertainment center, unplugging our TV and sound system. I recognized one voice immediately. It was Chandler, my older brother's former friend who'd been banned from our house for stealing mom's jewelry last year. My heart was pounding, but I felt too weak to move. I tried to stay quiet but started coughing uncontrollably. One of them heard me and they both froze. The second guy, someone I didn't recognize, started walking toward the couch. I texted my dad using my iPad with shaky hands. Chandler's here with someone. They're taking our stuff. I'm sick downstairs. Then I heard his work truck pull into our driveway. He'd been doing construction all day, covered in dust and wearing his hard hat. What happened next still blows my mind. My dad didn't storm inside yelling. He didn't call the cops first. Instead, he calmly walked around to the front door and let himself in like it was any normal day. I watched him assess the situation in about 2 seconds. Chandler was holding our PlayStation while his buddy was wrapping cables around our TV. My dad just stood there for a moment, then said in his regular voice, "You guys need to put that stuff back and leave." Chandler started laughing. Then Chandler made his biggest mistake. He shoved my dad backward and told him to mind his own business. What I saw next was like watching a movie. My dad shifted his weight, ducked under Chandler's swing, and landed 2 lightning-fast kicks to Chandler's knees. Chandler went down screaming. The other guy dropped our TV and tried to rush my dad, but Dad caught him with a knee to the stomach that doubled him over instantly. Both guys were on the ground within 10 seconds. My dad just stood over them, not even breathing hard, and said, "I haven't done that in 20 years. He zip-tied their hands with cable ties from his work truck and called 911. When the cops arrived, Chandler was still whimpering about his knees. The officer asked my dad about his restraint technique, and Dad just said, "I used to train a little." Used to train a little turned out to be the understatement of the century. That night, after Chandler and his friend were arrested, I found my dad's old photo albums in the garage. Pictures of him in fighting shorts, championship belts, newspaper clippings with headlines like, "Local fighter dominates regional tournament." My dad had been a semi-professional MMA fighter for 6 years before I was born. He quit when Mom got pregnant with my brother, never mentioned it to any of us kids. When I asked him about it later, he just shrugged and said, "That was a different life. I had better things to focus on." But the coolest part? Chandler's never going to walk properly again. Word got around school that my quiet construction worker dad was actually a trained fighter. None of my friends believed it until they saw the old fight videos my dad finally showed us on YouTube. Now I'm 23, and whenever someone asks about my dad, I tell them he's the guy who gave up cage fighting to change diapers and never once complained about it. But if you break into his house, you'll find out that 20 years off doesn't mean 20 years forgotten. Chandler's limp and crutches still remind him of that lesson twice a week.